Surrounded by forests that make for large expanse of ungoverned spaces, bandits have seized these areas to launch attacks on communities in Zamfara state and other states within the north. The state governor, Bello Matawalle, has taken several steps to curb the menace, but none has proved effective. Now, from placing a ban on mining activities in the state to offering amnesty for bandits who lay down their arms and embrace peace, the bandits almost on a daily basis kidnap students from their schools and demand ransom in millions of naira. And the latest two abductions in the state came less than 24 hours after the other. Governor Matawalle has now ordered the closure of schools in the state and imposed a dusk-to-dawn curfew. This is part of what we'll be talking about in the next couple of minutes. So joining me now is security consultant Darlington Umoru to help make sense of all of these. Good morning, Darlington.
Morning, Mike.
Good to see you.
Morning, Mike. When you say good morning, it's a traditional way of greeting in this part of the world.
I agree.
But sometimes this morning...
The morning may not be good.
Great.
I totally agree with you with the situation around. But let's start it this way. The governor Governor of Zamfara State, for instance, has some people express the analysis as him being frustrated with the different measures he has put in place, and yet he's not getting the actual results. He has done, the schools have been closed at point, curfews have been imposed, a trip to Abuja to call for deployment of troops, and all of that. Even the issue of the call for people to defend themselves. All these have been in place, yet we still have kidnappings here and there. What do you make of all of this?
Well, the situation in Zamfara is not a peculiar one. It's not peculiar to Zamfara State. It's just that Zamfara State is having its own share of the problem. Northwest specifically has suffered so much from the activities of bandits, while the Northeast has been known to have suffered more from the activities of the terrorists, the ones we refer to as either Boko Haram or ISWAP. But whether Boko Haram still exists is another matter altogether. Because since ISWAP took over the reins and tried to bring together members of Boko Haram into the same fold, don't forget that ISWAP is an offshoot, a breakaway faction
of
from
Boko Haram.
Eventually took over Boko Haram and now converted all Boko Haram members into ISWAP. But that's not the focus at the moment. Banditry has its origin arguably from Zamfara State, from the activities of the illegal miners. Zamfara State is rich in gold. One of those mineral resources you find in Nigeria, that is supposed to have made this country greater than what it is and where we are at the moment. And don't forget that at a point in time, some of these people that are tagged illegal miners had a private security arrangement around themselves. Security arrangement, not legal, talking about the illicit ones now. They gather around themselves, they arm them to protect them in case of when the law is to be enforced against them. Well, from what we're having today, I think that is what has metamorphosed into another thing that is almost getting out of control of the people of Zamfara State. Mike, I was in Zamfara State myself to actually see things the way they're going. And suffice it to note that I was in Zamfara State when I was in Sokoto when the girls were taken in one of the schools, about 175 of them at that time. And then the day they were released, I was actually in Zamfara State that morning, and I talked with some persons, security agents, particularly those of them who came for the training that we had for them under the Great Presidential Committee on Small Arms and Light Weapons. That's almost been taken over, well, supposedly to be taken over by the Center for the Control of Small Arms and Light Weapons, as announced by the National Security Advisor, the NSA, to the President. Be that as it may, since Zamfara first experienced interwars amongst the miners, where both the illegal people and the legal ones had issues. We have not had peace in terms of banditry. Mike, if you visited Zamfara State, particularly the day I was leaving Zamfara State, some people will tell you this area, this part of the forest, this part of the desert land, they are there. You can't go there. That means they know. There's actually a road that links, if you're coming out of Zamfara State, that could link you to Niger State, particularly if you want to come to Lagos State. It's a shorter route rather than go through Kaduna and all of that. But that part of that section is habited by the bandits.
So they know the areas where these people are.
The people know, and I'm sure security agents also have an idea. But whether they have the wherewithal to hit those places is another question.
When you talk about wherewithal,
yes,
what are we talking about here?
When we're talking
the capacity in weapons or intelligence?
With all of it put together, the personnel, the technology, do we have all of that? Of course, if we have...
But the military chiefs have told us they have what it takes to crush these people, and they've been given
so why have they not been
Nigerians.
crushed? If they have told you that, then why are we still having experiences? You talked about kidnapping that took place, 2 different kidnapping incidents took place in less than 24 hours. We are having it in Kaduna. The NDA was heated recently. The NDA of all places. And then you're talking about having the capacity to contain them. Agreed, of course, it is expected. We have the best, I always say this, the finest military in the world. But have they not been overstretched, the ones we have at the moment? Do we have the technology? Now, some of these warfares are no longer supposed to be fought or prosecuted by the physical presence of personnel. We're supposed to adopt the use of technology. Now, when I say the use of technology, today you have all kinds of unmanned aerial vehicles, the UAVs. Now you have the combat UAVs. You also have intelligence gathering surveillance UAVs. How much of this do we have? Do we have enough of them to patrol these areas to give results, in terms of, or reports in terms of intelligence and surveillance? And then the combat ones where you are not even supposed to man. I always give an example here of how America took out those they termed terrorists in Iraq. The Iranian and the Iraqi man that almost created a lot of problem for the world at a point in time. That combat UAV that was used, it monitored them perhaps from the airport up until where it took them out, and took just the 2 of them out. It was not a Tucano. That is not to take away from the gains of a Tucano. The A29 Super Tucano that we just got, many are criticizing, we just got 6 of them. Now, even Biden is saying that all of that should be halted at this point in time. We've never had it good, if we want to look at international politics, played around the insecurity we are facing in Nigeria. The era of the Democrats in America had never been helping Nigeria in terms of selling to us equipment that can help us prosecute this war against terrorism across the world.
But when it comes to the United States, they talk about the issue of, we have standards here, and you need to be able to convince us, because it's for your own safety, it's for the sake of your own people.
Mike, all of that you want to say is international politics.
No, but of course, the point
international politics. Is it not the same America under another political arrangement, leadership under another political arrangement that approve the same sales to Nigeria?
Yeah, but the
Republicans.
You might look at it from any side. Anyway, but that's politics. Let's come back to Nigeria, where these things affect us.
Honestly, I'm surprised that you are even trying to explain all of that. Because if it's a policy of America, why would an administration say no, and then another administration operating under the same policy,
there are instances
in the same country,
but they
still make approval?
Yeah, but there could be instances where an administration will say no, we'll live by the books. Another administration will say, okay, let's play politics. Without
following the rules and the laws of the land.
You may see
there are regulations from the United Nations in terms of the sale of these things. United Nations has its own regulations, and then countries where these things are manufactured, they also have their own regulations. The very cheap excuses they have given to us over time is for the fact that it's political, when they say that these things will end up in the wrong hands. The wars prosecuted in Afghanistan.
But our former president, one of our former presidents, had alluded to the fact that
could you be specific, please?
Former President Goodluck Jonathan had said that Boko Haram had infiltrated the system.
There's no doubt about that.
So the point there is, when you have an intelligence, or when it comes to intelligence, that's how you have an information, for instance, that kind of information that the commander-in-chief is saying that his military has been infiltrated by the enemy. Would you sell weapons to...
It wasn't specific. It didn't say his military. He said his government. His government. You have been a bit too specific.
But he talked about the military.
He said his government had been infiltrated. Even so, now you see, Mike, one challenge I have, the same thing with what we have in Zamfara State today, is that government officials over time come out to make allegations that they cannot ordinarily substantiate. I think they are a part of our problem, the leadership. If Jonathan said that...
we assume, because in fact it's not assumption.
No, this is not assumption.
The chief executives...
No, if you are patient...
The chief executives get security report...
Great. Now, if you are patient, you listen, you hear what the point I'm driving at.
All right.
He is the number one security officer of the country. Okay? And now, if he made that allegation, apparently, like you wanted to say, he already had intelligence report.
Great.
To that effect.
And it can be
if he had, hang on, Mike, be patient. If he had intelligence report regarding that, apparently he should have the names of those of them. He should have known them.
Of course.
Because the intelligence report will not come without names. And so for those names to have come, he would have identified that these persons were actually in his government. What did he do to them? Were they arrested?
Maybe that's the politics.
Were they arrested?
Maybe that's the politics.
Did he name them? Do you remember that at the point in time, even this Zamfara State governor did say that if he comes up with the names of those who are sponsoring these persons, that would have been, Nigerians would be shocked. I want to be shocked, Mike, than sleeping every day with my eyes open in fears. Mike, I want to be shocked than risking the lives of those children who want to get education to better their lives for tomorrow. Mike, I want to be shocked than wasting the lives of those who are supposed to be the leaders of this country tomorrow. Mike, shock me. Shock me, Mike, than destroying the image and name of this country. Mike, still shock me. When people like us will be coming on air every day and sounding like broken records. If you have them, and you say you have a challenge, and they are constituting a nuisance to your state and to the country, why not name them? The best we had was that a supposedly military officer and his girlfriend were arrested. Where is that matter today? So if these leaders come out at different points in time without giving us names to tell us all kinds of stories, I do not know for whatever reason, are they fanning the extent to which they have failed? Are they fanning that? Why would he started it and others have been keying into it? Is that what we want to hear? Insaner climbs. Once you get those intelligence reports, you pick up those people. What we got from this administration recently was that many of them who were sponsors have been arrested.
400.
Now, those of them who were arrested, well, agreed for security reasons. Sometimes you don't reveal certain things so that you can still continue with the pursuit of those who were yet to be arrested. Agreed. But what did we get in previous arrangements? That my government has been infiltrated by Boko Haram. Do you know bombings go to Abuja, the seat of power at that point in time? Today, what are we having? At the time, we heard from security reports that they were in the suburbs of Abuja recently. But after that, did we hear any of them moving into Abuja? But what do we have in states? The federal government had taken certain measures in Zamfara State. At a time, they declared a no-fly zone over Zamfara. Then at a time, they stopped the mining of gold in Zamfara. Currently now, the state governor had moved from PDP to APC. What was the essence of all of that? Is that a solution to the security problem you have in your state that apparently may have started from your own state in terms of the illegal miners, where you have certain people who were doing illegal mining in your state? Those of them who are also involved in those illegal mining, where are they from? Is the state governor saying he's not aware? Today we are saying you have made a statement that if you mention names, what will shock you, Mike?
No, the point there is
that children being taken away from school. Look at the last one, the ones that were taken from secondary school. They were in the class learning, not at night. In the daytime, they were learning.
Painful.
And now schools have been shut down. Without education, how can the country grow? You are denying children. Parents are no longer comfortable sending their children to school, Mike. Education is becoming a challenge to children of tomorrow, not of our generation.
I want to be shocked the way you want to be shocked.
I don't think you are.
We all want to be shocked, because the point there is, let us know, so that if the person is my friend, whatever I can do to help, I will help.
Security agents are no spirits.
Yeah, exactly.
They can only work on the information you gave to them. If you are sure that you have names, instead of telling us through the media, why not list out those names and submit it to the security agents, and then shock us with the people who are arrested?
Shock us, like you said. We wait for
Mike,
that shock.
Shock me, electrocute me with your actions. Let me begin to vibrate on air.
It's the governor of Zamfara State that wants to shock you.
Okay.
Not me, please.
Okay. I thought you were part of it.
No, but if we have to, it's a serious issue, like you have put it. If we have to become more tactical and more intentional about this, how do you think we should go about this as we round off?
I think it's a collaboration of everybody. I kept saying that security is the business of every man. It's not just those who are putting on the uniform or the toga, or those who are carrying the weapons. I do not think so. It's the business of everybody, from the least person in any environment to the person who has the political will and who has control of security. It's a collaboration of all of these persons that can help us achieve whatever we want to achieve. Information is key. Information is the first step. When we talk about intelligence, intel is all about information. It's about the information, analyzed, to give you, whether it's in form of images or whatever you want to turn it into. But the truth is, if these people get intelligence report and they don't make any use of it, then we are getting nowhere. The common man, is he really having that confidence and feeling secure that if he gave out an information, he will be safe? Or whether that information will actually be used. Those talks from the past president you referred to, and the Zamfara state governor and many others who have said that they know some of these persons who are either sponsors or who are involved in these activities. What have they done with those information? If you do nothing with this information, apparently you will not achieve nothing. The military man who is going to prosecute the war needs information, and then he draws out his program and then knows the areas to attack. They also have an intelligence unit in all the arms, okay? But even so, they also need technology. But Mike, I think we've been fighting this war with cohesion. We've been trying to use force to win this war. But how much of it have we been able to achieve? The Zamfara state governor started a process at a point in time. It's like he has abandoned it. And when he started that process, I think he got some result, because we actually had people who dropped arms and who confessed to say that they will not want to be a party to banditry anymore. But did he continue in that line? Now, some of the people who helped the Zamfara state governor to achieve the release of these children in most times, we are often told, are those the repented bandits. So
the best way to use them, to get the others has to be upheld and somehow intensified.
Well, I think maybe that's your own definition, or that's the way you see it.
No, I'm seeing it as a summary.
I'm saying that beyond the military might, let us begin to find a way of JoJo.
Okay.
Sometimes when you try force or you are not.
But isn't that what Sheikh Gumi was advocating at
How
the
much
time?
of Sheikh Gumi have you
when he
used?
was meeting with them and then also meeting with government and so on.
But you have some governors who have said headbound that the only solution is
right.
to crush them.
All right. Anyway, let's leave it here for now.
Okay, we should leave it here on top of this table.
Yes, let's leave it on this table for now.
We'll leave it on this
We'll
table.
come back to pick it up from here because it's a national issue on the front burner. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Darlington Umoru, for coming on the program.
You're welcome.
Thank you.